chapel in the land of the Southern Utes. A visitor center honoring the art and culture of the ancient Hohokam people at Mesa Grande Ruin. A bridge to help control flooding on the Chehalis Indian Reservation. An energy-efficient administration building for the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority. A community center for the Pueblo of Acoma. Although these and many other projects were for different tribes with differing histories, cultures, and needs, they all have one thing in common. They were designed and built by WHPacific, a company that has been providing architectural and engineering services for Native American communities for over 70 years.
The two projects that WHPacific did was the multi-purpose and memorial chapel project, which consisted of a recreational facility for tribal members as well as a chapel. The second building WHPacific did was the J&R administration building, and that building is now an office space building for 3 departments within the tribe. WHPacific was great to work with. They were very understanding of what the tribe wanted out of their facilities. We actually had a tribal member design committee that met with the design team and worked with everything from the layout to the floor plan to some of the tile borders on the building. WHPacific also made presentations to our council, and really they incorporated tribal thoughts and concerns and beliefs into every aspect they could of the project.
This property we're standing on is part of the Confederated Tribes of the Chehalis Indian Reservation. The purpose of this project was to alleviate and reduce the impacts of flooding from the Chehalis River on the surrounding properties. November, December is kind of the peak flood season for this area, and the tribe wanted to make sure to get this particular project constructed before any potential flood events could occur this season.
Canyon de Chelly is very beautiful. The nature itself created that beautiful canyon, and WHPacific put the colors into our beautiful building. Our colors blend in with nature. I know any organization that provides utilities is interested in incorporating the energy efficient into our building. The windows outside, that's supposed to deflect the sun rays so it cools off the temperature inside. WHPacific was very professional. They were very understanding to meet our needs and how we want the building to be designed, so they complied with our interests and our recommendations.
We're here at Mesa Grande Cultural Park. This is a portion of a very, very large Hohokam village where thousands of people lived at one time. This village is at the head gate of Canal System 1, an enormous integrated irrigation network that they use to grow their crops. The Hohokam began building canals here around AD 600, and they're of an immense scale. For example, one we excavated close by this site, the canal was 15 feet deep and 45 feet wide. These were monumental works of both engineering and the ability to put labor together to get people to do this. Here in the Phoenix area, you can't sit around and wait for the rains. There just isn't enough rainfall. Without the canal system, they couldn't have survived here in the Sonoran Desert.
The visitor center, we actually have prehistoric ceramics from the Hohokam. These are the well-known ones for this culture. They're called red on buff ceramics.
Well, we actually selected WHPacific because some of their architects are historic architects. And they were able to bring a lot to the project, a real knowledge and sensitivity of what this site is. This is actually a very special place, a sacred place to the O'odham people who are the descendants of the Hohokam. WHPacific is a Native American-owned company, and so I think that they understood those cultural values very well.
From a chapel to a community center, a museum to a bridge, from an energy-efficient facility to a gymnasium, from landscaping to flood control to construction management. In all these areas and more, WHPacific is committing their architectural and engineering services to the enhancement of Native American community life.